back to double up, that you with trouble. My hustle, my diamonds on bottled up. G.O.D. got this muscle. Let's keep on my life, man. I love it. Got so many rings, I need room for another one. Been through the pain, now and they know I struggle. My team winning game, but I'm on the cover. We the champions. Here in Los Angeles, we doing numbers. Bring it home, victory, straight out the funnel. I'm at the plug, introduced to my brothers. My squad's superior, ain't none of us. We doing numbers. Gang it numbers. I told my father, it ain't no limit. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limit. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. Trap out the best position. I drove it so fast that I flew out the engine. I came with some good level 16. I play out here and I'm like, this my position. But my mother was thirsty, so I hate them. I'm a try to go back on the start. Till I tell me, I be having them on the light. I'm ain't going to be fun. My whole phone, man, I ain't got any motion. I'm going all the way. You know the boat, if it's raining, you know the trouble. If you love it, easy, when you listen to it over. I'm going back and like I'm calling her. I'm running when I'm up in the tank. I'm going late, I just run the jersey. I'm starting to have 20, try 30. I told my father, it ain't no limit. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limit. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. Money on my mind, head in the game. It's like I put a few diamonds on the thing. I can hit a million round with the play. Wild, but I feel pain. I'm like an animation, I'm turning on video. I got the shirt, she looking, I'm getting ready to tell you. I'm turning on the team, it's finished. I get you a check like you can teach me these money. I turn it out. I get you think I'm really back. It's crazy. You see me working, I'm getting I told my father, it ain't no limit. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limit. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. They screaming my name when I walk in the building. Yellow diamonds on me like I play for the Steelers. I'm in the field, yup, just like a Steeler. Oh, this your girl, my band had the Steeler. I hop on the beat and I float like a river. I caught a TD, yeah, right across the middle. I'm speaking thanks, boy, you telling riddles. Can't hang with the gang, so we had to sit them down. I'm in LA, right around in the round. My dog just called, say he finna touchdown. When I call a play, you won't hear a sound. Hold up, money call it right now. I gotta go and get it, and it don't matter how. All I know is, man, yeah, I'm 10 toes down. I keep my head high and my eyes on the prize. Yeah, my feet on the ground. Let's go. I told my boys, it ain't no limits. Told all my dogs, it ain't no limits. Put your head in the game, head in the game, head in the game. Head in the game, head in the game. Turned up, turned down right now. Too dope, make better get around right now. Hey, I'm too turned up, turned down right now. Too dope, make better get around right now.
First off, let me talk my. Got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my. It's a bad soundtrack, read the script. Born in the motherland, headed straight down to the south. Tennessee mornings with pops, working 3 jobs. I knew that they struggled to get it, that's why I wanted to get it. That embedded, you get it, treat it like a law. And I'ma need commission for this hit. Lance laid the canvas and I painted over it. I don't need a vision board to show you I'm betting on myself, count the chips. Got it. Made some choices for a profit. That's my logic. I'ma take it to the coffin. Just being honest. Try to sink my ship like Titanic and leave me with Jack. Hope I be panicked.
Well, first opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Tonight we kick off Week 13 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. The kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. Pulls it in at the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30.
First and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers to the right side and complete to Hurst. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Deontay Hardy deep for New Orleans. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 26.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. They run it again with Kamara. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And here's Hoffrichter now, the punter, as he sends this one away. Here comes Peppers. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10.
Their own 27-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with a W.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On play action. Now Rodgers. On the move. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Marcus Davenport able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
On the return, Hardy. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
A good gain on 1st. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards there and a 1st down. The Saints coming in looking for win number 7 on the year. But they come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
Jameis now on 1st down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game. I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Winston. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 33. A gain there of 21 yards.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Throwing. Winston. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Got an open man. It's Olave. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers 16. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defense.
And he is in for a score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Looks for the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Terrell Lewis never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
Well, they've got the lead, but it's certainly not a big one. And how do you keep control of that lead? Certainly not by that last play there. They gave up a big sack on the first play of this drive. Now it's double the distance to the 1st down marker.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. On play action, Rodgers. He has it complete to Christian Watson. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call through the offensive coordinator. You like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
And they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Rodgers. Got Dobbs over the middle. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Room here to run. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Now the extra point try forthcoming. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jameis to throw it. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. That time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
You can easily see the logic. It's a tie game. They just wanted to press it a little bit right before the half, hoping to get one more score.
Now, easy to second-guess the result, but now you have to think after that interception, just a field goal, and they're behind at the break.
Yeah, I think at the half, the head coach just says, look, that's on me. I wanted to press it, but it's because I believe in you guys.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have the show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gould. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece. 7-7 our score. And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll go draw here. Winston hands to Kamara. Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Winston now. He finds his man, complete. It's Wood. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the Packers' 45-yard line.
2nd and 7. Now Winston. Open man is the tight end Troutman. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 35. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's Winston. Olave over the middle. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. From the gun, Winston. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. So what a turn of events there. You're driving to take the lead in this 3rd quarter, but then one mistake, and you're watching the ball being returned for a touchdown.
Certainly a great example of how focus has to be there on every play, doesn't it, partner? You can't get complacent, and I think that he did. He's got him moving downfield, but that's a play where he just shouldn't have thrown the football. And it ultimately could wind up costing him the ball game.
Saints 7. Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Saints take over 1st and 10.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Winston under pressure. They got him again. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Returning is Peppers. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later, you're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's Rodgers to throw. That's taken in by Watson. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Rodgers going to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Well, I'm sure he likes his performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the 4th quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes. That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now a draw play. This is Jones. And a short gain down to about the 33. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They need to get this to the 24 on third down. Now Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Packers. Romeo Doubs, 33 yards. And the Packers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7.
21. Saints 7. Pat O'Donnell set to kick off.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
First down 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw, Winston. Complete. Smith has it. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
To the air again with Winston. Throwing out right here, caught by Olave. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
And meanwhile, Winston's throw there taken in by Smith. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a first down there for the offense. They're hoping that that's something they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
On 1st and 10, Winston. This is caught inside the 15. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. And give him a gain of 37. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Over the middle to Smith. Only a yard on the completion. It's second and goal.
Complete to Traquan Smith. It's a gain of a yard. Brings up second and goal at the 8-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it second and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Again, it's Winston. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's third and goal.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Third and goal, and keep in mind, very possibly 4-down territory. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now fourth and goal.
I know this is your spot, partner, so forgive me for jumping in, but there's no decision right here. They have to go for it.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Jameis Winston scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Saints have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Wants to try to end the PAT. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. So a 7-point game. They'll need a recovery, the touchdown, and an extra point to tie. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that one. They needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball and continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll go again to Jones. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them this one is now planted.
So for the Packers, their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7. And they'll get the weekend off now as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Saints, it'll be loss number 6 on the season for them. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding the like we knew it all. Not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, to look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give a about a hater. Let them like the in my paper.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbilly. Cube-bone stallion with the lick. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, can be pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border.
So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system. Let's turn it up, a little louder, turn it up, a little louder, turn it up. We never turn it down, universal sound. When we move the pound, take a look around. When we touch the town, not the way, stomping in my big black J's. Corny, get stuck in the maze. We never suffer fools, had enough of you. False friends and loose ends make me wanna fool. That we got another world tour, touching every shore, from Cali to Singapore.
Every day I'm seeing more in the temple as we rock up tempo instrumentals. I saw my dream in a dream, then I woke up. Put the dream team together, now we one time.
So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system. Let's turn it up, a little louder, turn it up.